Could I just, before we do this, and if I'm out of line, not out of line in the sequence of events, it's because I think we have a time constraint. Going back to the Funburry 4.1, I know Bill Donovan is waiting for us to say either, yes, go to the next step, do your due diligence, and then come back to us with a proposal, or no. And I also know that time is important for him because he's talking with other potential locations. So I should have probably brought this up under 4.1. When are we gonna have that discussion? I mean,
Did he give us a time? I did not hear it if he did.
he didn't tonight, but he did before. It's gonna be within weeks,
Well,
like a couple, 3 weeks. That was what he said
think
last time, I think.
Right now, it's a standard permit request, and I think we follow up with Mike and let Mike respond to him. Mike can follow up with us individually.
I don't know what that means. He gets a consensus of the board from individual discussions and we don't discuss it as a group?
Well,
We're not,
I think
there's no
the
motion in front
typical
of us.
process for an event is the application
Yes.
goes to the director and the director vets that.
Yes.
We never vote on events.
That's not true. And we can vote on events, especially when they come to us directly and it's an event of this size. I would think as a board, we would want to discuss it because it's whatever is decided. It's not like I want to have a party in one of the facilities. This is a big, huge deal. I think it deserves our consideration and discussion. I just do. And if you disagree with me, that's fine.
I just think we need more information. I mean,
Yeah, I mean, I'm not there
based
yet.
on what he shared with us tonight, I think there's stuff I need to find out more about, like these costs he was talking about, the impact. I mean, obviously we had a public presence that's concerned about it, that's across the street. What's the impact on them? How's that gonna work? I mean, I'm not for or against it at this point. I just wanna know more details about it. So I don't think we have those details right now.
Yeah, so you guys know, our biggest soccer user, our biggest club that rents, he's reached out and was very concerned about about the concert being there on 5 fields. Our fields, we allow only one season every 7 seasons to rest. So about every 3.5 years, one field gets to rest for 1 season, which is not a lot. Compaction and the overuse we have is a big issue. The other thing I just real quick would be, I did get a call from Hamilton County Sheriff, and they were very concerned about the 32 and all the other, and being able to staff it with other events and things in the area. So I didn't get a chance to say that, so I did want to point that out to you guys. So.
Yeah, and we've had, Amy and Mike and I had a really long discussion about it. And Bill, and I think Tom Hodges was with them for some of it, did go through the proper process with Mike, and I think Mike and didn't Scott Lahman meet?
Scott Lahman and myself,
And
yeah.
Mike said, yeah, probably not. And then we were contacted by Tom Hodges, and you know that whole story. Can we come see you? This is a big event. It could be life-changing for our community, and we really want to come see you and talk to the board about it. And we allowed that at the last meeting. And they had about 5 minutes each to talk about it. I think what I hear Mr. Donovan saying is, I would love to give you more information, but I can't completely do my due diligence until you give me this is a possibility, this is a potential go-ahead, and I'll go back and gather all the stuff about parking, and I'll talk to the sheriff, and I'll talk to the village of Newtown. We haven't been able to do that for him. Again, I'm not advocating any way right now, but we can't just let it sit. I mean, unless you say as a board, yeah, we can. The process is the process, and we don't need to do anything other than the permit process, and Mike's already said no, and that's the end of it. I mean, that's our decision. So, that's it.
Well, I don't know that I'm comfortable treating it as an agenda item tonight. No one is here from the public to make comment on that. It was not advertised in the agenda as a agenda item. I don't know that it's, if you're calling for a vote, I don't know that officially we can even do that.
Well, I'm not calling for a vote. It is on the agenda though. It's pre-scheduled speaker Funburry Music Festival.
Correct. That, he was just speaking about it. It was not
Right. There wasn't a presentation of a motion
correct.
for us to have to vote on it tonight.
I'm not suggesting we vote on a motion. I guess I'm trying to see if there's any will on behalf of the board in letting him go to the next step.
Well,
That's not a motion.
my concern about that is the way he made it sound was we have to approve his permit and then he'll do all this work. Well, what happens if he does all this work and there's things that we're not happy with,
We haven't signed anything.
but we approved his permit?
Yeah, I didn't hear that, but I could have just missed it.
No, that's what he said.
Well, I
You know,
missed it, I'm
those-
sorry.
No, and that's my concern is I don't have enough information to say I'm for or against the permit. He answered some questions tonight that I was very happy that he was able to answer some questions. And I did recommend, you know, like what are you gonna do with parking? Are you gonna bus? And at that point, it sounded like that was possibly an option. And then all of a sudden we hear from the public that they're talking about parking across the street. So that doesn't give me the warm and fuzzies about the traffic patterns through that area. I live in the area, and I'm telling you that is, during soccer Sunday, that is a zoo, and that's just some soccer fields. So again, I'm not against it. I would love to see something like that. I'm a concert guy, so I would love to see something like that. I just don't think right now I'm sitting with enough information for me to say one way or the other that I would go for or against, so I have to lean on you guys who have been in those meetings that we haven't been in as to what you're thinking.
What is the process, Mike? I'm sorry, I don't know where my mind was, but I missed the discussion about the next step for him would be to get a permit approved before he can do the next step of his due diligence. Is that what he said?
That's what he's wanting us to do, is to
Right.
approve his permit. He's turned in a special permit form, which everybody that has a special event with the park district does.
And what does that, I know I'm a lawyer, but I'm asking you because you live in this world and I don't. What does that mean if we approve the permit?
So we evaluate it as a staff to see if it's something that can work from the park district standpoint. Scott Lahman, he looks at the event. He usually handles those bigger events. He involves the executive director to come in to look and see with it. With this one, he involved me, and we looked at the event. We met with Bill at my office, went through the event with him. It changed a little bit from the first time we met to the second. I expressed with him the concerns I had with Clear Creek Park has over 200,000 people a year that already recreates at it. And by taking the risk with what he wants, I can show you, I know he's not worried about the grass, but if you look at, I know Lollapalooza is a lot bigger event that happens in Chicago, but same thing. It's people in a confined area. They do it at that park in 2019. They do it on about 6 ball diamonds. In 2019, the weather changed, like you were asking, Jeff, and there wasn't a speck of grass left, and it cost $655,000 to replace the grass in that park that year.
So my practical question is not the process itself and the nitty gritty, but what is the practical effect of saying we approve your permit? I mean, does that mean we approve the festival?
We would authorize him if we, depending on how we did it, we could, I'd have to really think through.
I want to know legally if we
I would
say
have to-
yes on the permit, does that only give him the ability to go forward with his next steps? So
I
we're
would
not
have to-
like signing a contract where he actually is going to do the festival.
I would have to contact Mike Dean to see if
I
it
think
would obligate
I think that's
us
the key
to.
question, because it might be neither here nor there. If we approve the permit, it only gives him the ability to do more due diligence and come back to us with more answers.
Yeah, I'm okay if that's the case, but that's not how it came across to me in the discussion I had with him. It sounded like he wants the permit approved, then he'll go and figure out all the rest of the stuff. And he, his
He's
comment
gonna
was,
clear
I think
hurdles.
I can figure it all, I get it all figured out, blah, blah, blah. Again, this is not a statement, so please, I want to be on the record, I'm not for or against it at this moment. I just need more information. But he made it sound to me that if we approve the permit, then he'll go ahead and do all that stuff and figure it all out. But basically, we'd be telling him to go forward.
But
With the
we're not
approval of the permit.
obligated to have that festival unless we sign a contract with him. The permit doesn't make us, here's what you need to do, Mike. You need to see with Mike Dean
Obligators.
what it means if we I don't know legally what it obligates us to do if we we approve his permit. Because I don't think, I don't know, I don't know.
I don't know either, and I would be concerned because he's a business and we'd be telling him to go ahead and he'd be spending his resources to try to
That's
do
my
it.
concern.
That would be my concern, but Mike Dean would have to tell
And
us
you
if it
think he'd be on the
obligates
hook for
it.
that?
I don't know if it would or not.
That's the question.
That's-
Julie. What are we on the
that's a
hook for
question
if
for
we
Mike
approve the
Dean, so
permit?
yeah.
Do we still get to say no at the end
What's
if we
the
find
practical
out, wait a
effect of
second,
approving the
we
permit?
can't do that?
That's it.
So let's reconvene with Mike, let Mike talk to Mike Dean, and if we need this on the agenda item next month, we can put it there.
I think we may, this is neither here nor there probably, I think we may lose it by then. We may lose the festival, he will have gone somewhere else, but maybe not, and that shouldn't affect how we proceed. But I wish we knew to ask that to Mike tonight.
Well, I mean, you shot some pretty big holes in some of his things in his thing that he
Oh, no,
presented to us.
I was.
Yeah, I mean, there were some
just-
issues there
Yeah,
that he
no.
needed to clean up,
Yeah,
and I
no
didn't hear
kidding.
him clean them up, and he said he's not gonna bother with that until, he gets the approval and everything, and I understand the line of chain of custody there, but I think let's have Mike talk with Mike Dean, please.
We have a plan.
Yeah.
Do you understand, Mike? Are you good?
If that, yeah. if
That's the direction
Great.
at this point, yeah.
Okay.
Thank you for letting me go back.
All right. Where are we at? Oh, we are convening to executive session.
Just for property, right, Mike?